Hi there guys, and yeah, I know it's been a while since, well, a few days since I made a video, but work had other plans, so, it is what it is. So today, I just figured I'd do some live gameplay for you and go over a tank that I've been kind of enjoying lately, and already got 2 gun marks on within, I actually got these within 40 matches, so pretty happy with that. This is the Panzer III 4, and this is one of the most fun tier 5 German mediums that I've played. And the only one that I've not played actually is the Panzer IV Hydrostat. I've played the Panzer IV-H and 3-marked it. I 3-marked the Panzer III-K and then destroyed it with the auto repair turned off, so then I never have to play this thing again. And I have played the Panzer Kampfwagen T25 and the Turan 3. So, what makes the Panzer III 4 special? Well, unlike the Panzer IV-H, it does not get the derp gun. This is the 75mm L48. Yeah, 110mm of pen on standard ammo, 158 on premium, 110 alpha on those, and then you've got HE with 38mm of pen and 175 alpha. It's a decently accurate gun for tier 5 at least, and although the 2.3 second aiming time and some of the soft stats do hamper it a little bit, but not to the same extent as the Panzer III-K. In fact, you can actually reliably hit things with this gun. What makes this tank is special is the frontal armor, and that coupled with the mobility, because obviously, as you can see, the pen and the DPM is not particularly special for this tier. The accuracy's okay, but otherwise nothing great there. It does get 10 degrees of gun depression, which is nice, but that's not one of the defining factors of this tank. So I'm going to start on the mobility before I move on to the armor. This gets positively light tank mobility. 23.01 power to weight, specific power, as it should actually be called, and a top speed of 55 kilometers an hour and a reverse speed of 18. That makes this thing a very, very good counter to light tanks, because it does have the mobility to keep up with them. It does have better DPM than them, generally, and it's got frontal hull armor that can bounce most of their shots. Now, moving on to that, while the side armor, and of course the rear armor, is not great at all, it's only 30mm on the side of the hull and 20 on the rear. 30 on the side of the turret and 30 on the rear of the turret, and only 50 on the front of the turret as well, because it's basically just a Panzer IV turret. The hull armor on the front is what makes this thing special. At tier 5, it's got 80mm on this upper plate here, with no actual weak spots, because that's something that Wargaming are working on removing for some reason. The lower plate is 60mm, as is this kind of U-shaped part here, and those are actually slightly better angled than the upper plate, but you won't bounce some of the higher pen guns if you're on flat ground. But if you're using your gun depression, if you're at this kind of angle and you're using your gun depression, or even like this, then you'll generally bounce standard ammo from anything you can meet, at least off your hull armor, and as long as your whole lower plate is being hidden. So that then makes this thing quite the Ridgeline Warrior. It does have quite a small turret as well, so if you're fighting this thing at medium to long range and it's hull down, it's actually a little annoying because of how small the turret is. So this thing did get a view range buff as well, with the 9.17.1 patch that brought along the buffs to the German medium tanks. It does now get 350 meters view range, whereas it used to have 330, so now it can hit the spotting range cap of 445, with a couple of requirements. Well, I say a couple, it's quite a lot actually. You do need vents and optics and chocolate, along with Brothers in Arms, recon and situational awareness. That is, however, only if you wish to play in the active role. because if you do have binos on this thing, it does quite easily get well above that 445 meters view range. I believe it can hit something like 460, 470 with binos without too much trouble. So let's take this thing into a battle, and I'll see if I can show you guys what this thing does. So this is actually pretty perfect. We can use our mobility to get ourselves into the ideal spotting location to counter the T-67 and the two other light tanks there. So we're wanting to get to the bushes right about here, so we can spot out this way, and basically just give their light tanks a hard time. Now what's nice about the crew I have in this is they do have the camo skill, or at least partially. A couple of them have it mostly trained, so that does give me a little boost there. Plus I will, of course, not be moving particularly much when I get into the position that I want to go. And you can actually sort of see, if I zoom out a little bit, you can see the bushes right there. And this thing has, of course, got the mobility to get there in plenty of time, provided that no one gets in my way, and they are not. So let's just go. Now if we position ourselves sort of like this, we can cover ourselves from the enemy light tanks as they just charge towards the field, which is what they're inevitably going to do. Like, there's the SP-1C already charging in, there's the Cromwell B. Now they're not really going to spot me here, and there goes all of the Cromwell's health already. Now I also want to bring up a point about these bushes here, because no one seems to use them when they really should. These are a very, very strong set of bushes to use. As you can see, we're already spotting some of their top tier tanks here. We've got their IS and their SP-1C spotted. There's a Panzer T-25 there, there's a T-67 there, there's a Churchill 1 there. So we've already spotted quite a lot of the enemy team. And as you can see, we're already over 1,000 spotting quite comfortably. We've got most of the enemy team spotted over here now. We don't want to shoot, of course, because that means the IS, the T-67, the T-37, the Panzer, and some others would probably spot us. But we do have support behind us that can shoot anything we do spot, like this Panzer here, who is... yeah, buddy, that wasn't particularly smart now, was it? And this also means that this IS has been suppressed the whole match, which means he's not going to have as much of an effect on the battle as he would probably like. And we also get the spotting on the IKV-65. Now, back to this position here. There is one that mirrors this on the other side. If I can turn my tank a little bit, I'll probably be able to... yeah. So these bushes right here are the ones that are the equivalent on the other side. And should you get to those in plenty of time, you can use that to spot. But if you shoot from those bushes, whoever's in these ones that I'm in right here, like that, see there's the T-67. He's using those bushes to shoot from. But the problem for him is I'm spotting him whenever he shoots. And so, as you can see, we've already got over 2,000 spotting. We don't really want to shoot or anything at all right now, because that T-67 probably has binos and will spot us quite easily. He is on low health now, however, so he's probably not going to be too interested in doing very much right now. So what can I say about this match right at the moment? Well, the one that's going to spot me if I shoot is, well, it's going to be a combination of this guy and the Panzer T-25. Now, I did get a little bit of spotting on the Panzer III-4 there as he came around. That was a very, very silly move. I think he was trying to get away from the Oni and the VK-36, but ended up getting killed anyway. Probably, I think by either the Dickermax or the T-29. So the enemy team does have control of the city, which is a little awkward for us, but we can quite easily bring this back with the help of the rest of the team. Now, obviously, the main issue is that they do have both of their top-tier heavies still alive, but we also have ours. Unfortunately, well, our T-29 is finally getting back into the match here. What we need to get rid of first is the SP-1C here. We don't actually know where the Chaffee is. He has not been spotted the whole match, so it is quite possible that he's in the bush with the T-67. It's quite possible he's in one of these bushes. He could be over here or here as well. But the main problem for us now is the SP-1C. We need rid of him, and then we can think about maybe getting rid of the T-67 maybe getting flanking shots on the IS if he tries to push around. But he's currently outnumbered, so we're not worried there. The Tiger P is threatening to come through this way and shoot the Oni, but friendly Stug has taken out the IS, which is nice. Now the thing with this position is, if you move forward, you will get spotted. Because, well, you can see the open ground there. Now the idea here is when that I have here is when that guy's gotten like that, now I can pull back a little bit, I can shoot this Chaffee without getting spotted by the T-67. There he's tracked, so we can start shooting him for free here. And he's dead. Alright, so now we're gonna start going around. We need to get rid of that T-67, so we're gonna start playing the active scouting role. And that's something this tank can definitely do. With a top speed of 55 kilometers an hour and the power to weight of 23, it does mean that this thing can really get around, and that's exactly what we're going to be doing here. Because we need rid of that T-67, so we can then flank around and kill the OI Experimental and the OI. Well, the OI is in town. There's the T-67. Hello, sir. He's not even in the bushes anymore, so, you know, there he is. And we've got a little bit of health, so we can afford to just go for it here. And he's firing HE as well, which means he's never going to pen either me or the 1375 without getting really, really lucky here. So, there he goes. He didn't even hit us flat on, so he ended up hitting our optics. Now we're going to look for the OI Experimental here. I think he's probably around where the IKV-65 was spotted. So, we're going to go check there. Well, there's the IKV. Hello, sir. We're just not going to care. He did high roll on us, which is a bit awkward, but he's now spotted, so he's not exactly going to want to deal with too much. And the 1375 can also take a hit, and there he goes. There's the OI Experimental. Oh. Oh. The OI is hiding behind that bunker there. So we're going to go one side. AMX is going the other. Can we even... No, we can't even shoot him from that side. Is the OI even here? No, he is not. And we're just going to farm because the 1375 wasted all his shots, so we're just going to blast away. The Oni finished him off somehow, even though I got one last hit in. But that was a good match to show exactly the kind of spotting and scouting role this tank can quite easily pull off rather. And as you can see, that got us over 1,000 base XP. It got us the patrol duty, and the IKV-65 there quite handily gave us the Kamikaze medal. So that was a pretty nice match. Overall, that's 2,400 spotting. We didn't fire any ammunition, and even with our chocolate, we still made quite a nice profit of 26,000, which is actually really good at tier 5. And it would be pretty good for gun marks. I was actually sitting at 87%, and in 45 matches, I'm now at 90%. So yes, you can see exactly how good this thing is. So I'm going to cut it there for this video. I don't want to make it too long. I do want to actually try and jump into a match with Aimless, who is streaming right now. I will be also streaming later. I'm going to put Aimless's stream in the bottom of the description along with mine, so if you guys want to check out our streams, then you can. Anyway guys, that's all from me for this one. Hope you liked the kind of ideal match that you want to get in this tank, and saw exactly the kind of role you want to be playing with this tank, the kind of active / passive spotter, at least when it comes to a tier 7 match. You can be a little more aggressive in this thing in a tier 5 match, but again, you don't have a huge amount of hit points, The OI Experimental's gun does overmatch your side armor, so do bear that in mind. And there are the 105 derps from the German tanks that do get AP, and if they are running AP on those in any form and they're smart, or if they're just dumb and they don't know how it works, but they hit your side, then you can say goodbye to your hit points. Anyway, guys, see you next time. Take it easy.